We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. Happy New Year as we start 2025 here on our weekly marketing and business news of the week, January 3rd, 2025. What's up, Chris Hansen?
What's up, big dog? How are you?
I'm good, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. If you're listening to this, it is the new year. We are admittedly, we do pre-record these, but we are in 2025 when you're listening because this released on the Friday. I am definitely on the beach at this moment in time. I'm just going to place shift myself. It's around noon when we're recording this. I'm probably on my first beer and margarita mix with some pancakes.
Nice. That's breakfast of champions, brunch of champions.
Exactly. What's cooking, Chris? In Miami, it's the new year.
New year, yeah, man. I expect the gym to be very busy.
Yeah.
With New Year resolutioners.
Yes, exactly. It's so funny. Isn't it funny how we joke about that, but it's so true. That's why I built my own home gym. I'm doing it all. I got the garage. My garage been converted because I'm getting old, man. I know it. I go in and I like having some people around, some humanity, but it just sort of drives me crazy because I'm not Mr. Olympia, but I got a routine. I'm consistent. It doesn't take New Year's, and I walk in and I'm proud of people, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, man, I'm waiting for shit that I don't have to wait on.
Waiting for it the herd to thin out a little bit come March.
Yeah.
February, March.
Exactly. We're on a little bit of a skeleton crew. I'm in my new office. Got the wall of fame behind me. The many big time guests we've had on our weekly guest episode of Right About Now. I'm standing. I'm set up for the, I got my mic in here, got everything. I thought this thing shining on the lights would be good. Number one in business and marketing, 9 countries. We appreciate you wherever you are, whatever language, hopefully getting translated to you. But we appreciate it. And, just felt like, hey, it's New Year's. I needed some bling. So I got it on the shoulder. This thing's heavy too, man. This is not, when they make these, they're not kidding around, we've been taking the business.
Sounds expensive.
That's real steel right there. Hey, we're taking the BS out of business for you. We've had a lot of great stories this year. Some good things kicking off that play into the trends that we've been talking about. And, it wouldn't be the cookie crumbling anymore with the administration that's leaving unless we had a good hacking from China before they left, right?
Right, a nice hack from our biggest adversary. Just come on in.
We try to, the edutainment. That's what I'd call our show. Trying to educate you, opinion, have fun. But this shit's it's scary when you think about one of our biggest adversaries in the world. Obviously, we don't want to be, fight in the middle of a war, but we fight over resources, other things. And the fact that they can break in, even if it's unclassified info, and get to the computers of a lot of elected officials or non-elected officials, just government people, it should scare you a little bit, right?
Yeah, especially when it's our Treasury department, it's our money. So money does rule the world. It's concerning because it makes you think, all right, if they got in, what else can they get into?
And exactly. That's what it is. That's where the fear comes. It's okay, all right, maybe they did or didn't get the most important things this time, but the fact that they can, what happens when they do? And just all China has to do is go, no, the U.S. is just trying to slander us. We didn't do it. They came out and said that, yeah, we didn't do it. Okay. What are they going to say?
Right.
Yep, you caught us. Sorry.
Damn.
They got us.
We
were looking around. I was, on MySpace and I accidentally hit a button and it got me into the Treasury department. I was just scrolling around on 1010 or whatever the version of Amazon is over there in China, and President Yi just happened, whatever. Secretary Yi backdoored his way into the it happens. I hit the wrong key. Up, down, left, right, BA start, and got in. Who knew? So sorry. We didn't do it. I mean, it's just like denial. And I mean, it's hard to know. It's even hard to believe our own government sometimes, right? Like what really got taken or not. The fact that they're acknowledging it shows you that something happened. But will we
There's
ever
some half truths in there?
Yeah. How bad was it
just
really?
Tell them they got in, but they didn't get any classified stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course. No classified stuff.
Little soft landing.
Yeah. They got President Biden's solitary history. That was it.
Right. Yeah.
They got his Metamucil formula for the morning.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is. They got his nap schedule for the day. I mean, that is 62 pages. Let's be honest. Oh man, asleep at the wheel, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it could happen under any presidency. So I'm not saying that it's specific to that, but it does sort of follow the course, general line has been the last few months with like sleep at the wheel, everyone, right?
Yeah.
So no nuke codes, just really unclassified stuff.
Yeah, nothing important.
Nothing to see here. But it did say in a major incidents quote, but non-classified. I don't know, man. It's just okay. A digital key was compromised. I don't know. I think my son Clayton could probably like break into this like State Department. I don't know. Like what? I don't know what to believe here, but let's get that shit locked up, okay? President Trump, let's button it up a little bit. We could buy the best hackers, right, in the world. Can't we buy the best? Like, takes a criminal to know one. Let's just put them on the payroll.
Right.
Maybe they do that. I don't know. That's what I saw in Born Identity, right?
They do.
That's where I get all my government knowledge. So
they offer the bad guys a deal and convert them over.
Yeah. What's the biggest? I mean, we talked last time about winners and losers, but anything like on your radar, like 2025, like, we've got a few more news articles we'll talk about. I'm going to talk about podcasting. We've been talking about that a while. The Radcast Network, some exciting trends in podcasting and video, the things we've been telling you for years. Go look at my Instagram feed. I've been telling you this story, but we'll get to that shortly. But what's 2025 feeling like for Chris Hansen?
I'll piggyback on what you said, and I know I said this, last week. The personal branding, social media, short form content. I mean, literally right before we recorded, there's another girl I just started following her. She does, talks about laws of the universe and stuff like that. She's educating, and even she said, I started this like 6 months ago. She's like, I put up one video on TikTok and got 1 million views. And she's like, you're never going to know unless you put yourself out there. And I think we all need to, probably the older generation, just kind of get comfortable with the fact that this is where media and entertainment is moving to your smartphone. And it's probably going to be on streaming platforms or podcasts or whatnot. And we talk about all the time with podcasting, but just as someone newer to it, I think, you've been in this, 8 years now, year and a half, 2 years in. And, I don't think everyone should have a podcast, but I think if you have a message that you want to get to the world and you have the time and dedication, or if you're a business owner, I don't care if you're building houses or cleaning pools, make content, like if you're a pool cleaner, shoot TikTok content, I think we're at such a point where people are craving authenticity and normalcy, where 15 years ago, everyone's watching the Kardashians. Now you have people, and another perfect example, I had lunch with a buddy of mine back home over the holidays, and his wife is a pretty big fitness influencer, her and her sister. They built out a platform. They've got their own app, and he's telling me, yeah, man, like they've got this many subscribers, paying this much a month, where it's like their followers are invested in them and their family. He's they're kind of do the family stuff, the kids, the workouts, the nutrition. But he's like, we're making good money on just doing what we would normally do. The only difference is my wife is just filming some of it, right? So I think to tap into that, people are looking for other financial opportunities right now, right? Everyone wants diversified income streams. Social media is an easy thing that you can jump into that may or may not work, right? But Ryan says it all the time. It pays to be known. I will stand by that, regardless if it's making more connections because you have a presence online, meeting other people in your network, working with cool companies. Put yourself out there. Just fully be yourself, put yourself out there, and the right things will come back to you. That's my advice.
Yep, for sure. 100%. We've preached that a lot, and I think, but it's never been more true with the proliferation of all these channels. And I think,
tell them about the Radcast Network.
Yeah, man. I mean,
you've seen it in real time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're building we spent 8 years building this show, and then the last year sort of pressure testing like 8 to 10 shows on the network, using the things that we've done to tell stories, to build audience growth. And 8 out of the 10 shows have 10x their downloads. 7 out of the 10 are top 30 in their category. And we're helping brands and people grow and monetize their podcast, because podcasting is the future of content. And podcasting is a kind of a word. There's a lot of purists that want it to only be audio. But the reality is it's multi-platform: audio, video, social media. And you can do serial content. You can do weekly content. There's a lot of ways to do it, but this genie's not going back in the bottle. Like, literally, we have all the data. I'm actually even going to pull up like one of our charts, some of our research we've been looking at. One of our partners, Sounds Profitable, give them a shout out, that really show like where the industry's going and what we're doing with the network, with shows that come on. But here's the biggest thing. And this may like not seem like a big statement, but more people now tune in and watch podcasts than those that don't. This just passed the threshold. It's always like 30 or 40% of people. So it was somewhat niche. Now it's fully mainstream, and we can all agree, unless you got your head in the sand, that the presidential election was in large part determined by what happened. And it's crazy. So this genie's not going back in the bottle. More people are doing it. Watchable podcasts are growing in popularity. 1 in 3 people now say they actively watch podcasts with videos. So again, the 2-year change is significant in how this landscape is changing from just audio to audio, video, and then the interplay of social media. And it can't be ignored. Hopefully you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify or any of the social media networks, but YouTube is driving over 50% of podcast discovery. So you've got nearly double the next source. Next source is the internet and Facebook, 27%. So what does that mean? When people were asked how they find or learn about new podcasts, over 50% said YouTube. That's crazy, isn't it, man?
I mean, even as you're talking, I was thinking back home over the holidays. My mom was telling me, she listens to a podcast every day. And she shares an office with a woman, and she was telling me, oh, well, now she started listening to it every day. And where I'm thinking, all right, she's near 70 years old. And that is now her biggest source of entertainment and information.
Yep.
Even my dad, he doesn't have cable. He uses YouTube TV. You can call it TV, right? But it's YouTube. Even if you've got the major networks utilizing it, it's streaming.
Exactly.
So, I mean, like you said, we've talked about this as long as I've been working with you. But if anyone takes a pause and just look at your own life and your group of people you're around and how they're receiving most of their data, it's all through the smartphone. Only people I know watching a TV is because they're streaming a movie
or sports.
Yeah,
sports or movie or like
a Netflix series. Yeah. I mean, no one is watching normal cable television.
No, very few.
And even if you are watching what would used to be on it, say The Bachelor, that's on Netflix now.
Yep.
So
Half of weekly podcast consumers follow a favorite host on social media. This is that interplay. 62% of people that listen to the show follow that host on Instagram. You know what I'm saying, man? It all is the interplay of social media and podcasting combined with the power of those channels all working together. And that's what we're doing at the Radcast Network. The biggest thing is you got all these people that are measuring audio. You got people measuring video. You got measurement of social media. Well, we're bringing that all together. It's called Podcast Total Influence. PTI, baby. Podcast Total Influence. We're branding that. We're literally bringing to bear the multi-platform impact that podcasts have. And you can fight the audio game all you want, but the reality is this industry with sponsors, with ads, needs to be integrating all of these things in for a multi-platform experience for sponsors, and that's what we're doing. Because, again, the interplay of these media is what makes it super powerful. And you know how I stay super powerful? I integrate it in right here, baby. It's called X. Mark the spot, Exponent. It is the energy drink that fuels right about now in Ryan Alford. And again, it's exactly what I'm saying. I'm practicing what I preach, but it's true. I only work with the brands I love. I love these guys. I love the branding. I love how clean it is. We're talking about fusion energy, adaptogens, nootropics, electrolytes, and amino acids. Zero sugar, plant-based. Healthy as it gets. Gives you that pep. You see it. X marks the spot for energy and clean energy, which is what matters. Exponent, official energy drink of Ryan Alford, and right about now. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. You need to watch that on YouTube. You guys see how cool these new cans are. Got some new flavors coming out, Chris. I'm pumped, man. You know, let's take a lot to get me excited, but damn energy drinks will. Boom. Woo. I go Hulk Hogan. Got my belt. Do whatever. I'll go Ric Flair. Whatever you want. Woo.
Good old Ric Flair.
So, yeah, man, podcasting is where it's at. The Radcast Network. If you're interested, look, shoot me a DM on Instagram. Go to, or better yet, just go to the radcastnetwork.com. You fill out that form if you're interested in helping us. We'll help you grow. We'll help you monetize. We'll help you leverage this, whether you're a business, solopreneur. All you got to do is be ready to grow. We're building a big community. We got an app launching February 1st, the Radcast Network official app, which is the community for growth, hacking in podcasting and everything else. Got a lot going on, brother. Excited about it.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh, what else we got in the news? Hey, lots of predictions for Bitcoin. 200,000.
Yeah.
That's an IOU. You might want to hold on to that one. That's
Yeah.
one Bitcoin, 200K.
Right.
That's real dollars. I mean, you know.
When you got my dad starting to talk about predictions, that's a good time, right? That's when you know. And I said this 6 months ago. When the mainstream media starts talking about it and all these random people that haven't talked about it in 4 years, it's not going anywhere, right? It's down a little bit. We're at 94,800 today. Big deal. Okay. It was at 68,000 3 months ago. But yes, there's all kind of wild estimates here, you know, all the way up to 200,000. I don't know. Who knows, right? I'm comfortable saying 120, but I think with this new administration, and who knows what's going to happen with banking policies and whatnot. Yeah. So it's looking bright. Future's looking bright.
Yep. It said approval of U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs in 2024 marked a pivotal moment, broadening institutional and retail investor appeal. The 2024 Bitcoin halving event reduced supply, supporting price momentum. You know, I'm seeing everything from 120 to 250, you know, and I think it's safe to say, isn't it, that the broader market seems to come along. If Bitcoin's raising universally, I mean, unless it's just some crap token like what Hawk to a girl, whatever the fucking scam that was. Like, yeah, but
yeah, like, what do you say? High tide raises all ships.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your big movers, Bitcoin, and then, you know, your Dogecoin, stuff like that. I think all that is going to rise up with it. And probably just things like Doge and more of these quote unquote meme coins will have larger gains probably, but then they'll probably drop off harder as well.
Yep. So big things coming from crypto. It was in our winners, losers, and recommendations for 2025. So it's really just another investment platform. I mean, it's a legitimate place. I joke a lot about gambling and all that. It sort of is legalized gambling. It was so funny. I saw somebody joking about, like brokers just are essentially bookies. They did the whole analogy, right?
Stock market bookies.
We just legitimized it. We put them in suits and called it Wall Street, and but
dressed it up a bit.
One step away from off-track betting.
Same skill set.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Like, I also, saw the news. Lots of CEOs turning over this year. CEO departures.
Yeah.
Says nearly 2,000 CEOs have stepped down from their roles between January and November. It feels like
it's a tough year in business.
And I almost feel like we're also like this short-termism, man. Everything. Like, it's easy come, easy go. Convenience rises. It seems like it's all related to me a little bit. And look, we all love our conveniences. We all love this stuff. But I think that how does that relate to business? Just think people, they're impatient and they think they want change. And sometimes you got to stay the hard road. And then sometimes just, it's time for change. I mean, every situation is unique. I just think it feels like a sign of the times, right? All right. Out with the old, in with the new, and old now defined as 18 months.
And you see it with your own workforce.
Yeah.
Like with our own businesses, right? The employee turnover it's not someone giving you 20 years of their life,
No.
Like they used to in the old days, right? Now, I mean, I think most people I know, they're at a job maybe 2 to 5 years and move to the next one.
Yeah, at most.
I had a conversation with a buddy yesterday. Hey, I want to completely switch industries from real estate to software because he's bored.
Yeah. And each their own. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm getting more and more to this like lean approach of like, okay, my recommendation is, and I mean, look, once you're Coca-Cola size, different game, but let's just say, micro teams, like 5 to 10 people that are all highly skilled, highly smart, and all pulling the same direction and building, like high equity stakes so that everybody's kind of rowing it. And then build your administrative, overseas VAs, whatever around that. But you have like a central nucleus of a centralized skill set, all pulling one direction with, not centralized like company, but then like 5 or 6 people that all have unique skill sets, but then building the ancillary around it, but not necessarily a company where you have 50 employees on the book. I think that's the way it's lean and mean, baby. Nimble. Got to move quick. Got to, be able to, I just think, and again, I'm kind of painting with a broad brush that I don't mean to, but like, I just think being able to move nimble, consistent revenue the exact same way is not consistent anymore. Like, I think you've got to be nimble month to month or quarter to quarter when you're a small business, an entity, and there's a lot of different ways that you can sort of pivot and evolve throughout a year's time across, a subset of disciplines. And that's sort of what we're doing with like Radical Inc. We got the Radcast Network, which is obviously, I think, the mainstay, and been building that for 7 years. But I think the ancillary things around it with ways with which to monetize when you have a group of skill sets in business services is becoming unique. It's a little volatile, but if you're nimble, you can take advantage of it. That's my thoughts on that. But lots of CEOs stepping down, except for this one. CEO of life.
We're staying right here.
I know. And hey, speaking of that, getting your life right, you got to get your health right. That's what Chris and I do on Vibe Science. Go check that out.
Right.
Vibe Science Podcast. Got some big hitters coming up on that show as well. We're taking you to your highest vibe. Look, all this circles around. Like you can talk about business, about all this stuff and podcast, personal brand. All that means nothing if your health is shit. Yeah, because think about it, Chris. Like if the moment we do all this stuff, I could hit the lottery. We could have a big sales. We could, sell one of our brands for 9 figures. But does it mean anything if you're in bed with the flu? Like in that moment, or I mean, even worse, like, something more. No. So you got to take care of your health and wellness, mind, body, energy. We bring on the best guests. We're empowering you. We're navigating it for you. Like we don't know it all. We're not doctors. We just play them on our podcast. No, I'm kidding. We don't. We bring in a lot of people smarter than us that tell you about it. So we're empowering. It's an empowerment show on health, wellness, mind, body, energy. That right, brother?
That's right. Be the spark. Vibe Science.
Yes, check that out. Vibe Science Podcast. Look, it's the new year. Got hacked by China. I'm not going to overwhelm you with this with too much. We appreciate you for listening. We know you have options. I like wearing this belt, so I'd appreciate if you keep listening. I don't want to have to hide it or send it to somebody. So go subscribe to that YouTube channel. Go watch us. Spotify or YouTube. You can see Chris and his pretty face with his Mark Wahlberg t-shirt on. Yes. Shout out to Mark. Municipal sponsor plug. And we appreciate all our sponsors, Branded Bills, Independent Center, Exponent. Appreciate everyone for making this happen for us. We couldn't do it without the support of the listeners, the sponsors, and I appreciate you, Chris.
Likewise, brother. Cheers to a great year.
Any final words as we close out today?
I just want to send everyone good vibes, abundant energy for the new year, health, wealth, happiness, love, and I hope everyone just has an amazing, beautiful year.
Yes, well said. Hopefully your college team won in the playoffs. That will have been determined by now. So good luck, whoever's playing.
I went to UCF. I know mine didn't.
Yeah, you know yours didn't. Clemson got knocked out by Texas. Texas probably beat Arizona State. We don't know. Recorded this before. But anyway, we wish everyone a beautiful, lovely 2025. We can't wait to be a part of it. We got big things coming, and it all starts with you. Check us out at ryanisright.com. All the highlight clips, links to our sponsors, linked to all of our social media. And, of course, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time on Right About Now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit ryanisright.com for full audio and video versions of the show or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening. This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. Happy New Year as we start 2025 here on our weekly marketing and business news of the week, January 3rd, 2025. What's up, Chris Hansen?
What's up, big dog? How are you?
I'm good, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. If you're listening to this, it is the new year. We are admittedly, we do pre-record these, but we are in